In today's video, we're going to check out the brand new Xiaomi Pad Mini. This is a new form factor from Xiaomi, providing us an 8.8-inch display at 165 Hz with a 3K high resolution, the ability of actually powering all of this with the 9400 Plus from Dimensity, one of the latest chipsets that we have, a lot of RAM and of course storage to be able to load up content and of course create content on this. This is great for not only enjoying content on the go, but also creating it as you go because of the large form factor and the really great interconnectivity to the rest of the Xiaomi ecosystem. So without further ado, let's check out the brand new Xiaomi Pad Mini and see what makes it so special. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. So in front of us we have the package. They sent me the Xiaomi Focus Pen and of course the Xiaomi Pad Mini. Basically going to be a few colors available for this as well as different RAM and storage configurations. Here we have it. Very nice, very sleek. It's pretty much a continuation of the aesthetics of what we normally see. This little pad that you see here essentially is made for the pen. So this is again the Focus Pen that we talked about. It actually mounts at the top and magnetically connects to the actual tablet and charges from it. So there's no reason to ever worry about this. Just put it on top. And it does work in both configurations. Just for reference, you can just basically put it in this way and it'll charge. The short answer is just make sure it's connected to this charger. On the left side here we have access to a speaker, a single speaker, USB-C and a microphone. Now you may be wondering, it's like, yes, that is actually a second USB-C port. This is great for productivity, of course, also great for making it so that you don't have to worry about always connecting the cable on the side. Now on the right side, pretty much the same experience on the other side. We have the power button, one of the speakers, and again one of the microphones. There is no micro USB configuration on this one, so it's pretty much just whatever you're getting there. On the back, no pogo pin connectors, but they did send me also a case. So this case is actually a grip case, kind of like the one we see for smartphones. Again, says Xiaomi. We have the two sensor openings at the back, basically the LED flash as well as the camera and the microphone. So putting this on and it just snaps on very, very nicely. And once you have it on, let's go ahead and put this on real nice. It's pretty straightforward. It actually becomes like almost like a phone grip case. So you're able to hold your case exactly on the right hand, left hand. And what I love about it is it also works as a kickstand in both configurations, upwards or maybe slightly more tilted. And then of course turning it on, just pushing the power button and you get access to the display. And launching into the UI is pretty much a straight experience for us. Again, the pen has an opening at the top of this case so that you can actually charge it and you can always see the level of the percentage on the battery there. Now the main thing I'll probably say is this is the Xiaomi Pad Mini. It has 512 gigs of internal storage with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It is running HyperOS operating system here 2.0, which is running on top of Android 15, as you can see here, with security patch update of July 1st. There will be an update as soon as this actually becomes available officially. This is a pre-release unit, so the main thing obviously is don't worry about this configuration. But at the end of the day, the overall experience here is pretty straightforward. On the left, we have access to the Google feed, very straightforward, same experience that we come to appreciate. It's there. We have access to the app drawer if you want to be able to launch it this way or just launch directly into search. Swiping down on the right accesses the notification, well, the toggle panel here. Accessing on the left side, we can swipe down, we can see our notification. And of course, you can swipe between the two. And going into the settings section, it's pretty straightforward. Just go down, click the settings, and now you're in the settings section. Going all the way down, you have all the access of information in there, interconnectivity, and we have access to Gemini. We can actually, circle to search, all of the functionalities that we have. Swiping from the corners pretty much accesses Gemini as well. If I press and hold the power button, same experience. So all those integrated functionalities of Gemini are built in the way we normally expect them. Now, in-app boost, there are functional options in there as well. We have AI writing, AI art, speech, translation, interpreter, AI subtitles. And of course, directly within the gallery app, you can go into the edit section and you'll see here the AI section is set up right away. We have enhanced, expand, erase, remove reflection in sky. So if we say expand, you do need to give it a notification, confirm it's going to download a plugin. You're able to download and manage your plugin directly within the settings section. You can see them right here. I'm going to go ahead and also say install on this one. I've been using erase quite a bit and that's one of my favorite features in here. And of course we have the different AI modes that we have in here that we typically see. I like one of those things here where you can actually go in there and just change the background or the sky mode in the back. So you can make the picture a little bit more, let's say here, let's see if this actually just changes the mood for us. Yeah, it does. And it actually does try to give us the color appreciation of what the front portion of the video or the image is going to be. So if we change it into more of a bright sky, maybe it's like rainbow a little bit, it just adds a little bit more pizzazz to the image. Again, customizations, all of them are built in here. And we also have the ability of jumping into desktop mode, or what Xiaomi puts in essentially is the pop-up window or floating window mode. And what that means is anytime you launch an application, it automatically launches a pop-up window, which is, let's say, I'll go ahead and open up Chrome. Chrome opens up the exact same way. I can move them. And this makes it into more of a functional option, like a desktop experience. You can actually scroll, open up desktop mode. You're able to switch in and out of it by just pressing the button, and then once you do that, the UI basically changes from launching them in pop-up windows. You can launch them like this. Now, you are still able to jump into pop-up window mode by just selecting the 3 dots on every window that you open. So from a functionality or productivity standpoint, you're always able to use this regardless of the UI. It's just that this makes it simpler so that everything opens up. So even when you open up your app drawer, you notice there the app drawer actually becomes more functional. We have access to Eufy camera here. We're going to talk about benchmarks, CapCut for editing videos and content. For me, I like using them in a couple of different ways. If I want to be able to use them, let's say in a standard form, let's say smart mode, phone mode, I can actually open it up this way, go into the mode and go to full screen. And this is typically how we see our CapCut expansion. If I switch it sideways, it expands into more of a desktop experience. I'm actually able to open up my library, my photos, bring in all the experiences in here. I edited this video recently. It was a short that I posted on the channel, and it's pretty straightforward. I had overlays, transitions, custom options. Using the pen makes it so much more productive and becomes more specific into the touch area that you want. Now the app drawer here becomes a little bit smaller because that's how typically it is. Recents becomes also a nice little option. And of course, within the camera section, if we're going to jump in here, just for reference, we have 4K 30 frames per second as the best resolution on the main camera on the back, and 1080p 30 frames per second for the front-facing camera. Let's go ahead and switch over and do a quick test for you guys right outside. So we're going to start off the front-facing camera here on the Xiaomi Pad Mini. This is going to give us 1080p 30 frames per second as the best resolution. Unfortunately, it's not a limitation of the processor, it's a limitation of the sensors that we have in here. When we switch over to the main sensor on the back, we're able to shoot at 4K at 30 frames per second. Let's go ahead and switch over to the main sensor on the back. Now that we're on the main sensor on the back, 4K 30 frames per second is the capability that we can work with. The main thing I'll probably say is if you're doing video calls, I like the resolution and the clarity that we get from the front-facing camera. But if you're sharing content, you want to be able to record something out of it, I think this is going to work the best for you. Again, 4K 30 is going to be out of the best camera on the Xiaomi Pad Mini. So just, again, tailor it to what you need, and I think this is going to help you guys get the best experience possible. If you want to be able to use it in full screen, click the 3 buttons and switch over. You're also able to jump back in here. And again, it's super simple to jump in between the different modes in here. So if we're going to go ahead and just play a quick song here, let's go ahead and find our favorite song. Now, one of my favorite features here, especially when we're playing music, I don't know if you noticed this, I'm in YouTube Music, it automatically opens up the dual panel, because if you use it standard mode, let's say the smartphone mode, let's go ahead and say no thanks on this option right now. When you open it up on the sideways mode, even on your smartphone now, we have actually that side panel. I can scroll through the different music tracks that I want to be able to play, the different, the lyrics, the related options, without having to ever leave my player. Very nice, very simple. So we're going to go ahead and change the volume level here. Let's go ahead and bring it up all the way up to 100%. Now this is playing our favorite song, Alex Crindo Jumbo by NCS Release. Jack it up. Now, although we're not showing more than 2 speakers grills on the side here, we're definitely getting a great sound experience. And what I like about this is, again, the ability of having 2 USB-C ports, the ability of connecting from either the bottom or on the top. Again, one of the main features that you get here is the ability of having video out, meaning I can connect this to a bigger display. Of course, connecting it to the USB-C port on the bottom will give us access to the video feed. So let's go ahead and give it a second. It'll actually show. You can see the glasses are powered on. The right side is intended primarily for charging. So if you connect the cable for video out, it won't work there. But it's still very nice to be able to use glasses, use the tablet, and still be able to charge it at the same time, which is a very unique experience. Most tablets will end up basically giving you the ability of using the same port to be able to do video out. Now we're actually able to have charging capabilities, which means we're not going to miss out on this large 7500 milliampere battery that we have in here that is also going to be charged using the included charger in the box. This is the charger that comes with it in the box that provides us the ability of charging it from 0 to 100 and create a very fast experience. No wireless charging, of course, but again, very nice to have video out. The Geekbench score running here on the 9400 Plus, it's a 2644 on the single core, 8053 on the multi-core. Now, that pretty much means it's the best processor that right now is available from Dimensity. Now, I know we're at the cusp of the 9500. Again, that one's not available on the market right now. But from a performance to power ratio, again, the 7500 milliampere battery that we have will power you throughout the day. The form factor, the fact that it's a slightly smaller display than the typical, and it is actually, again, a 3K display. You can run it at 165 Hertz or even run 160, you're going to get a long battery life. But the functional option of having a pencil, like having the actual pen with us, is the ability of actually transcribing, creating content, just writing different things. Let's go ahead and switch over. We'll switch over to something that's a little bit big. I'm going to change the color here. And I like about this is also there's functional options here on the actual pen that you can select. You can change different things to different brushes when you're in there. And you can actually kind of change the different things. And you can see here that it's doing palm rejection on my right side. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. See if we can write something coherent a little bit different than that. So here, and then you can see here, I mean, my hand does actually write if I want to be able to do it, but when you're writing with it, it has the palm rejection functionality. Really, really nice. So I'll go ahead and go back in here, here. Right there. When it comes to gaming, there's a couple of things I like about tablets this form factor. It's the fact that they actually work quite well with accessories like these. This is the Kishi V3 Pro. This was just released not that long ago from Kishi, from Razer. And it's a portable gaming controller that works great with phones and works great for this form factor. And I mean in an amazingly nice way. I'm going to take the pen off, mostly because I don't think we're going to need it while we're playing games. And you can actually connect this now with the connection on the side here. And this is where this goes in a different direction than any of the other tablets I've ever had the opportunity to play. Because the USB-C that we have at the bottom here works with video output. I can actually now use the tablet with its full display and a gaming controller functionality. So for this, just so for reference, you do need to download and install the Nexus application. So we'll go ahead and say here, there's an update that just got pushed. I'll go ahead and give it a second. You run the Nexus application and it interfaces with the games that you're using. If they don't support the controller, the Kishi controller natively, you can map buttons. Now you'll notice here at the top, I can customize it. I can add different buttons if I want. I can also add the D-pads, customize the experience in there. And I've been getting consistent 120 frames playback here. There's customizations in here, and you can basically put it away. And I think if I'm not mistaken, it has a launcher on both sides. Yeah, so you can launch it on both ends. And the speakers, because of the position of where they are, they play back and there's no blocking in them in there. Also, no issues with heat because you're not touching the tablet. So even if the device gets a little bit warm from a nice long gaming session, as Call of Duty Mobile can typically get, let's go ahead and say yes. This will allow me to control the game, get the customization levels that I want, and of course, jump into a multiplayer, a tournament, or any kind of game experience that I want. And of course, rule, because you're getting a massive display powered by the Dimensity 9400 Plus on the tablet, and even using them with an external display using the USB-C over video over USB-C. And of course, the benefit of having Kishi is the USB-C pass-through power as well as the 3.5mm headphone jack. So for me, this is absolutely my favorite gaming setup on the go. That dual USB-C is absolutely a win, especially for gamers and multitaskers, because if you want to be able to connect this to a larger display, connect a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, that works even better. So from a setup process, you really can't beat this. The gaming experience on this, because of the processor, as well as the fact that we have a high refresh rate, beautiful large display, gaming on the tablet is going to be great. If you use a controller like I'm using with the Kishi V3 Pro, you're going to get it to the next level. At that point, you're getting full display exposure with the controller sitting on the side. No heating issues, pass-through power, pass-through headphone jack, as well as the ability of using an external display. Again, this is really made in a weird way to be more productive than most of the larger formats that we've seen from Xiaomi. I'm hoping that dual USB-C function does carry over there. Now, as far as the cameras that we get in here, again, we talked about the fact that what we're seeing here essentially is a tablet. So I would probably say, again, 4K 30 is on the main, on the back, and of course the 1080 on the front are going to be great. In good lighting, there should be no problem. Your best camera will always be the one on the back, unfortunately. So for video conference calls, you're not going to have any problems. The mics were pretty decent, as you saw there with the demo when I recorded the audio and video in the backyard. So for me, at least at the end of the day, when we're looking at the Pad Mini right now, is what does it make sense? Who is this for? This is for gamers. This is for content creators that want to be more productive. This is for people that just want to be able to consume content, just be, watching content, loading up. The unit that I have has 16 gigs of RAM with 512 gigs of internal storage, which means we can load this up with as much videos as you want, Netflix, any kind of service that you want to use. When it becomes more functional in the sense of productivity, it's where you're starting to edit content from this. You're starting to connect this to an external display, connect the keyboard and mouse. Jumping into the desktop mode that we have with the Xiaomi UI, the HyperOS functionalities, enables us to use the pop-up windows in more of a functional way, throwing things into split screen, jumping in and being able to open up an app directly into pop-up mode. Keep in mind, again, the 3 dots are available in almost every app when you first open them up. So even when you're in standard mode, you can have it pop up into an open window, run a split screen, and now you're running like 3 different apps at the same time. So it's really made for productivity, for gaming, for content consumption, and it just fits everything. And it's actually super light. The case that he actually sent me with it is actually super functional, and I like the fact that it almost treats this, it treats the actual system like a phone, because it's a grip case. It's small enough that we can actually hold it on the side, like as we've seen it before. You just put your hand in here, and now it's a perfect case. Yes, the camera's on the bottom, I realize that. But I'm trying to make a point saying that you can also hold it in your left hand, and it works great. Marry that with the pen. Again, the pen can just basically connect, charge from there, remove it, it's ready to go. You can transcribe, you can draw, you can do whatever you want. Also for editing, I find this to be a little bit more precise than using my finger, so that I can actually get specifically into the areas where I want to be able to, let's say, move things, or maybe bring in an overlay, set it up to be in the right spot, select the right transition. Everything, again, is more precise when you have it at the tip of a pen. So with that being said, I do want to say thank you very much to Xiaomi for allowing me to check this out. This tablet was teased a little bit, so we saw some of the information. Functionally, I think it's a great tablet. The 8.8-inch form factor, and initially when I first heard about it, I was a little bit skeptical because I'm used to larger tablets. Like, I want to have a tablet that just basically becomes like a mini TV. And for all intents and purposes, 8.8 is that sweet spot. It's bigger than a phablet, winning the smartphones that, you know, the devices that are foldables now that are opening up, getting up to 8 inches. So it does kind of circumvent that. The form factor, it merits more of a standard 16:9 aspect ratio as opposed to what we're getting now with more of a square, 4:3. So I think if you're looking for a tablet that just can perform well, small, portable, and nimble, the Pad Mini definitely will be a great selection. And I hope they do release some more accessories. I want to see a keyboard case. I want to see some kickstand options, a little bit more than just the hand case that we have in here right now, because it looks absolutely fantastic. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.